Hello, welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It's the week of April 22nd. We are waist deep in the second quarter, and you will want to make sure that you achieve your goals. Things may or may not be working out for you at this point in the year, and we're going to cover some points that could actually help you ensure that you hit your goals. Let's write these down. Number one, you've heard Mike Ferry say this before, you've heard me say it before, and all the Mike Ferry speakers, but number one is start every day at zero. Start every day at zero. Now imagine if you woke up one morning and you had no listings, no pending deals, no closings, haven't earned any income, no leads, you have nothing. Imagine that, right? Well, actually, some of you probably don't need to imagine it. That's what's going on, unfortunately. But, in that situation, we've got to learn to start every day at zero. Because when you have no leads, no appointments, no listings, no sales, no income, you tend to typically get into action. So if you play the game that I've got nothing every day when you wake up and you start your business, pretend that you've got nothing, play that game, you'll actually produce at a higher level that day. Write down number two. Raise your level of enthusiasm every day to a minimum of 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. Right? Raise your level of enthusiasm. Now, guys and gals, I will tell you that your enthusiasm sells and has much more power than any other thing that you've got going for you, like your experience, your materials, your knowledge level. Listen, those are all important, but the truth is for the customer, your enthusiasm sells at a higher level than anything else. So raise it to a level of 8, Mike teaches us. But Ron, being enthusiastic isn't my style. Well, I understand, and it's your job. It may not be your style, but it's your job to be enthusiastic as a salesperson. Listen, the customers don't want to buy from someone who's dead or a doorknob or someone with low enthusiasm. Let me ask you, is your service awesome? Are you amazing? Will you be honest and help these people through the transaction to the best of your ability? Of course you will. Be enthusiastic and people will be drawn to you, be drawn to your side, and more people will hire you. Let's write down number 3, right? Number 3. Starting at this moment, I want you to forget your past negative experiences in real estate. Forget them. We've all got them. We've all had these negative experiences. You'll continue to have negative experiences because it's the real world, it's real life, and it's a business. Okay? But I'm asking you to forget these things that you've already experienced in the past because the truth is they don't enhance your chances of succeeding. Right? Nobody cares is the deal. And if you continue to talk about it, you'll perpetuate it into your future. Forget the negative past experiences. They don't have anything to do with your future. Write down number 4. Number 4, I would ask you, starting today as well, to exercise blind faith. Exercise blind faith daily. Meaning just, see it, talk to yourself and see it that you're going to succeed. Right? Understand you're going to be successful. You're going to achieve your goals. It's going to be the best year you've ever had. And just declare it. Right? You exercise blind faith in all kinds of areas of your life. I'm asking you to exercise it in your business and in the future of your business. Blind faith is key. Now, another important point for you to make sure that you hit your goals this year and to keep the momentum throughout the second quarter is going to be that you take your best month. Say in the last 12 months, what was your best month for listings taken, listings sold, and buyer-controlled sales, right? What was the best month? And then what you do is you make that your minimum standard for the rest of the year each month, right? See, you did it once. You had your best month for listings taken. Well, why did that happen? It happened because you put your head down, you worked hard, you did the job, you followed the scripts, you did what you're supposed to do. Okay? If you did it once, you can duplicate it and do it again. Imagine if that best month was your minimum standard for the rest of the year. Imagine where you'll be. Okay, good. Please write down number 6. Right? These points are so important. I'm so excited to teach them to you. Number 6, commit to a minimum. Now, this will be hard for you. but commit to a minimum of 30 minutes of script and role play practice each day. Oh, Ron, right? I've been using the scripts for years, right? My role play partners never show up, and you'll come up with all kinds of reasons that you're not practicing. But guys and gals, you are using scripts to support yourself, your family, and your future. If you're using these scripts, or anybody else's scripts for that matter, it's important that you practice and rehearse and warm up and role play. If you're not practicing and role playing, then the first 4 or 5 contacts you make every day will be your practice. And I know most of you are calling expireds and for sale by owners first thing in the morning, so we don't want to practice on them. We want to be ready. The conversation is important. There's a lot of money at stake, and if they say yes to your request for an appointment, you tend to make a lot of money from that transaction. So let's make sure that you're practiced, rehearsed, and warmed up every day, a minimum of 30 minutes. Now, the next thing I wrote down is you're not going to like, but I'm going to tell you anyway, okay? This is number 7. I would ask that you find 4 or 5 accountability partners, right? 4 or 5 accountability partners so that you don't allow yourself to get off the hook, right? With 4 or 5 accountability partners, you'll be forced to do your job. There'll be pressure to do your job, I imagine. You'll be more inspired. You'll be encouraged to do your job every day. And if you don't let yourself off the hook in that manner, if you allow these people to hold you accountable, well, you'll probably do more. 4 or 5 accountability partners. It's part of the recipe for a top producing superstar agent at the Mike Ferry organization. Now, number 8 is some good ideas here, so let's write these down. Number 8. Once a month, I would ask you once a month to do the following. Once a month, write down an ultimate prospecting day. An ultimate prospecting day where once a month you set aside one day where that day you do nothing except prospect. Okay, you don't do administrative work, you don't go on appointments, you don't go out of the office. It's buckling down and prospecting the entire day. Now imagine if you did that once a month and you made 50 to 75 contacts that day. Would that boost your production for the month? Would that give you a couple more leads and maybe a couple more appointments and take another listing or 2? Absolutely. In fact, the trend these days is to do an ultimate prospecting day once a week. Once a week, okay? But I'd ask you to do that once a month minimum. Letter B, something else to do once a month, would be a strong expired listing day, okay? So once a month, it's expired day, where your focus, your attention, your energy, and activities are focused solely on contacting and speaking with and following up on expired listings. Hey, we all know that those expireds are going to relist. We know they're going to relist within 48 hours, and we know most of them are probably going to choose a new agent versus the one they used last time. So with that being said, once a month, if you focus, on phoning the expireds, door knocking the expireds, following up with all the expired leads you've talked to so far this year, once a month, a strong expired day. On that note, letter C, I would ask you to conduct a strong for sale by owner day once a month. Strong for sale by owner day, where again, you do nothing but contact, reach out to, door knock, follow up with for sale by owners in your marketplace. Hey, there's such a great source of business. Let's dedicate serious time and maybe one day a month to reaching out to for sale by owners. And then lastly, letter D, what we ask you to do once a month, would be a price reduction and previewing property day. Okay, but where you spend most of the day asking your current sellers for price reductions. Obviously, you have to go in with a plan, with materials, and with a script, but that day is focused on price reductions. Now, if you did that once a month and you got your prices on your listings down a little bit, well then does that promote a potential sale? Absolutely. Okay, but some of you are going, Ron, I only have 2 listings right now. Right? So it's not going to take me all day to ask those sellers for reductions, which is why we've included previewing property day, okay? Where you go around, get in the car, and go around and preview some of the new listings that are out there. Familiarize yourself monthly with what the inventory is, what's selling, what's not selling, what's overpriced, what's priced correctly. but a previewing property day. Dedicate the whole day for it. Drive around, looking on the internet, meeting the homeowners, and understanding what is moving. Okay? So imagine now, if you've got 4 weeks in a month, 1 week you did an ultimate prospecting day, the next week was expired day, the third week was FSBO day, and the last week of the month is when you ask everyone for price reductions and preview property. I think you'll be in a pretty good position each and every month with that activity. Couple more points. The next one I jotted down was, in order to keep the momentum that you've got going and to keep your sales up and ensure that you achieve your goals, we've got to accept the following. Excuse me. We have to accept that during the next 12 months, you'll be doing a lot of things that may make you extremely uncomfortable, but they'll make you more productive. Can you accept that? Can you accept that the production that you want, that the income that you want might be outside of what is comfortable for you? So here's the great news, guys and gals. If you find yourself throughout the week in uncomfortable situations, that's your opportunity for growth. It's when you're comfortable that you're not getting better, you're not improving, you're not, growing at all. But when you're uncomfortable, that's an opportunity for growth, for knowledge, for moving forward. Okay? So just accept that fact. You'll be extremely uncomfortable if you're doing the things I'm asking you to do. Now, number 10, I wrote down that if you want to improve your real estate business, you may strongly consider removing your ego from the process. Your ego. Now, that's a long conversation that we won't have today, but your ego is mostly in the way. Your ego doesn't like it when you do things that are new. Your ego doesn't care for it when you do things that make you uncomfortable. Your ego is the one that talks you out of good, strong, productive activities. Remember, your ego wants you to be safe, doing what you've always done. It wants you to remain in what is familiar. It does not care about your growth. Your ego does not care about your future, does not care about your lifestyle, your family, your kids, your retirement. Doesn't care. It just wants you to remain the same, because remaining the same equals safe to the ego. Strongly consider keeping your ego out of the process. I've also jotted down that, which is something else that you may or may not like, but number 11 I wrote down is that you must know and use your numbers to build your business. You must know and use your numbers. Okay? So my question is are you tracking your numbers? Do you have numbers to track? Do you review them? Right? By tracking your numbers, you're able to see what works, what doesn't work, what you are good at and where you need improvement. Tracking your numbers is an important part of running a business. It's an important part of being a salesperson, and it's an important part of making a lot of money. Let's make sure that you're tracking your numbers enough. If this is something that is hard for you, you need to reach out to your coach, reach out to the Mike Ferry organization, come to some of our training because we cover that specifically. Okay? And then the last thought I wrote down for you to keep that momentum through the second quarter and the rest of the year is that in order to make your business work, you've really got to work daily on becoming more coachable. Okay? More coachable. Now, to you folks watching this program, I'm gonna say that you're probably more coachable than the average agent because you're watching training videos. You're watching this video. You're taking notes. You obviously want to get better. Okay, but being more coachable, meaning listen to what others have to say. Take advice from people that are doing more than you, doing better than you, right? Reading up on how to be more versatile, how to be more open. Be okay with trying new things. This is all part of you being coachable. Well, guys and gals, if you can apply, say, 3 or 4 of these 12 important points, I think you'll win the game. Now, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Thanks for being a part of Mike Ferry TV, and we look forward to talking to you next week.